This is the second part of Shamazaar, the making of our prototype map. If you haven't seen the first part, please click here now. We've seen that the temples were made of tiles. This is the Fire Temple in Shamazaar, and I'm going to show you the way we are reworking on those temples. Like the other tiles, we first import the voxel information and create a polygonal version with the exact same topology as the original voxel data, which creates a lot of tiny polygons. And it's just basically a reference for us to build a new mesh on top of it, which is much cleaner. And as you can see, we create a mesh with a kind of a grid, which enables us to paint per vertex data again to blend various textures. We have wall textures of different kinds with some moss that we can add to add some variety onto the base texture. With the vertex paint tool we can also darken or brighten the texture. We can make it more yellowish or more bluish. The darkening is quite interesting in the case of this fire temple, which is the temple of fire, because we will have some torches all around the temple, and it creates some nice burned version of the textures at those places. It's worth noting that the shaders for the building aren't using the triplanar mapping system that we use for the organic tiles, I would say, but rather regular UV mapped meshes. Some notes about the textures. We're trying to give the impression of hand-painted texture. So it's a combination of various tools that we use to create those textures. This is the work of Mike and Jeff, who've been creating those nice floor textures. Now the sky in the original Outcast was made of basically a single large painting wrapped around the environment like a cylinder, and we wanted to create really dynamic and 3D sky, and let's have a look at how the moons were created. I can see the dynamic shadowing in there. It's basically projected texture. And to create the moon, we start by creating a sculpt of the moon in 3D code. This is a voxel sculpting application again. And this sculpt is baked onto a polygonal version of the moon. And the textures are generated through that projection to bake the normal, which is the detail for the lighting, and then the texture itself is painted on top of that. Clouds use two different techniques here for this prototype. Again, this is not the final version of it, but it's just to show you how we can combine different techniques in order to create a moving dynamic sky. The clouds are a bunch of transparent textures that are moving around a mesh, and in the background you can see a painted version of some of the clouds that are also moving using some shader techniques. Thanks for your time and talk to you soon.